Buongiorno and welcome to another edition of Meet Your Neighbor. My name is Ron Falconi. I live here in Brunswick. Yes, Brunswick, one of the top 10 towns in America for families, according to Family Circle magazine. I live here in Brunswick with my family in the Fairway subdivision of our great city. And I had this idea back in the fall of 2006 where I wanted to interview local politicians, local business people, and local personalities so that all of you could meet your neighbor. We have a very special guest today. He is Jim Lukas. He is our new city manager here in Brunswick, and I wanted to welcome you to the city and also to my show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today, Jim?
Very good, very good.
Jim, can you tell us something about yourself that not too many people know about?
Since I'm new to Brunswick, that's probably going to be a variety of things. Since baseball's about to start, I would say I'm very active in fantasy baseball.
Fantasy baseball?
I really enjoy fantasy baseball, fantasy football, just fantasy sports in general.
How long have you been doing that?
Many years.
Hey, Jim, can you tell us, how did you get involved in municipal government?
I was in law school at Cleveland State, Cleveland Marshall College of Law, and getting a law degree. And one day I saw a joint degree opportunity to also get a master's in public administration. So I decided to pursue that program. While I was in that program, I got a chance to work for the Cleveland City Council and just really loved local government. It's my passion based on that experience.
Okay. And then after that, where'd you end up going after law school?
I went down to the city of Franklin, which is 15 minutes south of Dayton. As the assistant city manager about 15 years ago. And within the first month, the city manager came to my office and said he was leaving. And
that must have been a surprise to you.
It was very much of a surprise. I asked the city manager, I said, well, why didn't you share with that information with me during the interview? And he said, well, you wouldn't have came, and I'm recommending that you take my place.
Wow.
And so he did. City Council gave me a chance, and I was there for a little bit over 14 years.
14 years. Okay. And back down in Franklin, what was the best thing about your job in Franklin?
Just knowing the people, knowing everybody in the community, knowing, walking in the downtown and just stopping in to see the business owners, and relationships matter. And I was able to get a lot of very good relationships down in Franklin.
Oh, wow. One of my previous guests was our former city manager, Bob Zinkowski, and he told us what a city manager does. And I was wondering if you could maybe refresh our memory for people who are watching in Brunswick, Brunswick Hills, or Wadsworth Township, or people watching on the internet right now. Can you tell us, what does a city manager do?
We administer the priorities and policy measures that City Council put in place. That's from a broad perspective, and then we also run the day-to-day operations of the city. Okay.
Now, you've been in Brunswick for how long now?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Jim, tell us, what are the top 3 things that you want to do here in Brunswick?
Well, in the first month or so, just learn as much as I can about the city, its operations, its leaders, the business community, the school leadership. That would be number one, just establishing those relationships again. Number 2, it's no surprise that we have some issues. We're not immune to the financial realities of facing the state. So addressing some of our needs, the roads, for instance, trying to be as creative as possible to address some of those needs. And then 3 is, I would say, just to get to know the city staff as good as possible, getting to know their names, getting to know a little bit about them. I really like to know as many people staff-wise as possible.
Okay, that's good. And can you tell the viewers about the size of the staff so far here in Brunswick?
The size, or just what I've learned so far, or?
Yeah, both.
A lot of committed and dedicated individuals. A lot of good staff people who are dedicated to improving Brunswick. Okay.
Can you describe your management style?
Sure. I'm not a micromanager.
Okay.
I think it starts with respect and trust from a broad perspective. Let your department heads do their jobs. I really take that approach. If there's an area that I need to get involved with, I'm going to get involved in. But really, it's just respect and trust. And if you don't have that, what do you have?
Oh, that's true. That's true. What's your favorite part of the job here in Brunswick so far?
I grew up in Northeast Ohio,
Oh.
and one of the things that attracted me to the Brunswick position was getting back to the area for family and friends.
Okay.
I've spent, I think in the 2 weeks I've been here, 3 or 4 days, or seen my mother 3 or 4 times already, seen my best friend 3 or 4 times already.
So you have a lot of local connections
Yes,
in this part of the
and
state.
that's, but as I told some others last week, I wasn't going to just come up here for any job. It really needed to be the right job and the
Sure.
right community.
Sure.
And just growing up here, I always knew that Brunswick was a nice community. And it took a city like Brunswick to get me back to Northeast Ohio.
Okay. Jim, can you explain your educational background?
Sure. After high school, I went to Garfield Heights High School,
Okay.
went to Cleveland State and got a bachelor's degree there, and like I indicated before, a law degree, and also a master's in public administration,
Oh, okay.
all from Cleveland State.
Are you married? And where are you living?
I am married. My wife's name is Kathy.
Okay.
Currently, she's down in Dayton, and I'm here, not really living anywhere yet.
So you're still trying to find a place here in
bouncing
Brunswick, too?
from friends' houses and family houses, or houses of family members, and
Okay.
just starting to look at the neighborhoods in town and trying to find what's the good fit for me.
Okay. Jim, can you tell us some of the things that you like to do for fun?
Sure. Really active in tennis. I really enjoy tennis. That would be number one in terms of an activity. Play a lot of basketball, and I like to cook.
You like to cook?
Yeah, those would be the top 3 probably.
What things do you like to cook?
I'm the cook in our family.
Oh, are you?
So
I'm not the cook in my family, but I am learning though.
yeah, I'm the cook in our family, and so it ranges.
Okay. Hey, Jim, for every guest I have on the show, I like to play a game of fill in the blank.
Okay.
When I was a child, I blank.
When I was a child, I didn't realize what stress was all about.
Well, that's true.
When I was a child, I used to stress over, so many things that were really insignificant in life, and a lot of kids do that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what stress was all about, or what stress really was.
As you grow older, more your problems get more complex and all that.
Exactly.
Hey, Jim, the one place that I want to travel to or return to is blank.
I adore Sedona, Arizona.
Sedona, Arizona. Why?
The natural beauty. Just walking through the red rocks of Sedona, it has to be the most beautiful place in the United States.
Wow.
If it's not, I would like to know what is.
Isn't that near the Grand Canyon? Or
It's about
sort of?
two hours south of
2
the
hours
Grand
south, okay.
of the Grand Canyon, 2 hours north of Phoenix. So if anybody ever is traveling to the Grand Canyon, highly, highly recommend you just
Stop in
spend a few
Sedona.
days in Sedona.
Wow. Okay. The person that I admire most is blank.
It's probably a cliche, but my father.
Your father. Why your father?
He passed away 15 years ago, and he was so well respected at work. They named an award after him. He was just so dedicated to his job, but he was able to accomplish both the business perspective, but also his family life, and did
Good.
both really well. And he taught me a lot of good lessons about how to do both.
That's good. Good. Hey, Jim, when I know you just started here, but say let's look at the other end of this. When I retire, I blank.
When I retire, I will be going to Arizona.
Arizona.
Hopefully Sedona. somewhere in Sedona. I enjoy Ohio, but Arizona is just a different climate,
the
a different
weather,
culture, a different all that. And so when I retire, I hope to go to Arizona.
Okay. Jim, can you give any neighborly advice to people who are watching here in Brunswick, Brunswick Hills, Wadsworth Township, or people watching on the internet right now?
Neighborly advice. I've said this a couple times. I have an open door policy to government.
Okay.
If any resident wants to talk with me, great. Stop into to City Hall. If I'm available, I'll meet with you. If there's an issue that you have that I can't really understand over the phone, I'll come to your house to look at the issue. You know, we're here for the residents, and I've always taken that approach to local government, and we'll do so here too.
Okay. Well, Jim Lukas, the new city manager of the City of Brunswick, thank you for coming down to the studio today and chatting with us.
Thank you much.
My name is Ron Falconi. I am the host of Meet Your Neighbor, and I just wanted to thank the new city manager of the City of Brunswick, Jim Lukas, for coming down to the studios today. And also, on a personal note, I also wanted to thank Sharon Ray and WCTV, as now the show is being broadcast down in the city of Wadsworth and Wadsworth Township. Once again, my name is Ron Falconi. I am signing off. Arrivederci.